Hello, hello. It's the
Hi,
princess
guys.
and the priest.
It is. It is Easter.
Happy Easter.
It is. And yeah, I've eaten way too much food. It's feasting. You're supposed to feast on feast days.
And it's a Passover Easter, right?
Yes. We're still in the midst of Passover as well.
Yeah.
So this is a good thing. All right, this time around, honesty.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Now this thing, as opposed to other things like charity, I feel much more comfortable with. If
Yes.
nothing else, I tend to be honest to a fault.
Me too.
It gets me into more trouble
Me too.
than just keeping my mouth shut. But
Yeah, I remember my sister was a manager for Hallmark, and I was visiting for the summer, and to earn money, she said she would hire me, but I had to go through the whole rigmarole of filling out all the paperwork, and there was this little test I had to take. And after she went over the results of my test, she said, if you weren't my sister, I wouldn't hire you. I said, why? And she said, because you're too honest.
yeah, it's one of those psychology tests. It started to become really interesting. What, in the 80s or the 90s maybe? And yeah, it was a whole thing of if you answered to, I don't know.
If you were too honest, you had to have been lying.
Yes. Like, they would always ask dumb questions like, have you ever stole a pen at work? And you go, well, that's a weird concept. There was a pen there. I took it. I may have stuck it in my pocket just because
I didn't even think
I
about
didn't
it.
think about it. It says, does that constitute stealing? And those guys say yes, but, kind of a, well, you're a normal person and we can deal with you, as opposed to if you try really hard not to do things like that, that's out of the mainstream and they don't want you around.
Yeah, she
Or
said
something like
she
that.
said, I know you, and that you really are like this. So
Yeah.
anyway,
And saying things that shouldn't be said, because you go, well, it's honest. Don't do it. It gets you into a lot of trouble.
God wants us to be honest in all things.
Right.
Honest, true,
But
chaste,
hardly
benevolent,
anybody else
virtuous.
wants you to be. That's right.
Yeah.
These things used to be looked upon as virtues. So we're going to proceed because this book also looks at it and says, this is a virtue. You're such a good person for being like this. Complete honesty is necessary for our salvation. That's tricky. That's tricky this day and age.
Yes. And we're going to go into some details about what honesty is and what it isn't. So,
Yeah.
But in order to be honest, it makes you. This made me sit and reevaluate myself.
Uh-huh.
Am I really that honest? and I pretty much am, but I'm sure there are
I'm not
times
saying
when
I'm
I
perfect
slip.
at it at all.
Yeah, I'm sure there are times when I
But-
slip and I
Yeah.
am not being like saying an untruth. How do you say it? Anyway,
Honest
Wait.
people love truth and justice. And that's what, I can see that I didn't click on that thing to make that
Yeah.
work. Here's honest people love truth and justice. Oop, God, that's horrible. Okay, they're honest in their words and actions. They don't lie, steal, or cheat. Yes, ma'am, I see
no,
it.
I was going to go back.
I apologize. I'm sorry, go.
Okay. Marquis Peterson,
Uh-huh.
in General Conference back in the 70s, said, those who choose to cheat and lie and deceive and misrepresent become his slaves, as in Satan's slaves, the father of lies. Because
Right.
he's the one who will tell you 9 truths just to slip in one lie and have you believe it.
Yeah, and
But
get you that way.
But he gets you to start doing it too.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so this thing goes into several things that constitute dishonesty. It kind of lumps together a whole lot of things.
but,
It isn't just lying. I
right.
apologize.
No, we cover that
Yes, ma'am.
in here
I
as it
know.
goes on. I'm sorry.
It's okay. All right. Lying is intentionally deceiving others.
Bearing false witness
Right.
is one way.
Yeah.
And to me, when it talks about bearing false witness,
Against
I think
thy
of
neighbor. I think of
being
a courtroom.
yeah, and you're supposed
And
to
giving
give,
false testimony
yes,
against them.
and you're doing it on purpose.
But this, of course, does what everybody does, which is anything at all. You know, if your wife comes up to you and says, "Do I look good in this dress?" What are you going to say? You can say, you can dodge it by saying, I don't really care.
He usually says, "I'm probably not the best person to ask."
There you go.
So, anyway.
I haven't been dishonest yet because I really haven't addressed the question. I'm hoping she just stops asking me those kinds of questions that are going to get me buried.
Okay.
It's called being a setup. Anyway, but that's not really what's being talked about here. But, you could certainly do the whole thing about you were deceiving somebody else by telling them their dress looked good on them when it really didn't.
Okay.
What?
So there are other forms of lying, like speaking untruths, which is kind of what I was saying earlier. That you can say an untruth and feel like you're trying to get around telling the truth.
Right.
But
it also says
it boils
that
down that you're lying.
You essentially deceive others by a gesture or a look, by silence, or by telling only part of the truth. And you go, you know what? In this world right now, that's a thing.
So.
Okay. Dishonesty.
And we have to, unless we've repented of them, we're going to have to.
We have to pay for this somehow.
We're going to be held accountable. We're going to have to stand up at the judgment bar.
Yeah.
And our life is going to be played before us, and we're going to have to say, yep, I did that. I can't, it's right there, black and white, maybe color. Anyway.
There you go.
I can't.
Thou shalt not steal.
Oh, and if there's anything worse that I hate, that's a liar, it's a thief. Oh, I can't. And I remember in high school I did this wonderful painting, and it was really nice, and my art teacher wanted to put it into an art exhibit that they were having. And so my mom went and had it framed really nice, and I put it in the show, and when I went to go pick it up, someone had stolen it.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me really angry, and I wanted justice. But because that's me.
Lisa. Lisa is a you've done me wrong sort of a person.
But
which is fine, but yeah, you get caught on other things too, not being very nice to people.
Yeah, I finally got to the point where it's like, you know what?
Being really distrustful.
It's gone. It's out of my life. It's not important anymore. But I do want to find the person that stole it, and I want to ask them: did you steal it because you liked the picture, or did you steal it because you wanted the frame? Because it was a nice frame,
right?
Or why did you take it? I want to know why they did it.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they're not sorry, I don't care. I still want to know why they did it. That's all.
Absolutely.
So.
Okay.
Because I'm not a thief. I don't understand the thinking behind it.
Right. Okay. To cheat is dishonest. Oh,
This one I thought about you, my love.
This one, well, like I said, it's troubling.
Yeah, I know. But it's kind of like an on-call, a doctor on-call type of deal.
I guess.
They have to have that warm body there, and they have to pay you according to, your masters.
My presence.
And
yeah.
all
It's okay. It says It says, you know what? I live in a very complicated world.
Yes.
And a whole lot of this stuff is like, this thing makes it all very, very straightforward. And you're like, wow. It says, I don't know.
Life isn't that straightforward.
I don't know. Yeah. and I'm not sitting here trying to justify myself either.
No.
It bugs me horribly.
Yes,
I really wish I didn't have the job I have, because it creates this weird problem for me. Makes me crazy. So, okay. These things are all a part of dishonesty. And here it is. We must never excuse our dishonesty. And you go, I don't know what.
Well, there are some
I don't know
people
where to go with that.
who have told so many lies
Yeah.
that they begin to believe their own lies. And
Oh, say I'm fine, I'm
can't
okay, and stuff like that. And you go,
differentiate anymore.
I can't. Yeah.
And it's just kind of sad.
Uh-huh. It's tricky because, there's all kinds of excuses that people tend to give for doing things that are dishonest. To get a better grade in school, or because everyone else does it, or to get even. And it's like, yeah.
I deserve it. I
don't think anything like that. Anyway, yeah. The Spirit of God ceases to be with us. And you go, I struggle because I feel like I do still get inspiration from the Spirit. And you're going, well, I'm not exactly sure then what.
And I think you were led to this job. I think God blessed you.
I hope so.
Anyway.
But it's just wretched sometimes. I'm always available.
Yes, you are.
So it isn't like I'm not there, but anyway. We can be completely honest. And you go, yeah, okay. We're completely honest. We can't be corrupted.
And sometimes it's really hard to be honest because you might be hurting somebody else's feelings or something like that.
But is that just a justification?
No.
Yeah. So that's tricky. Yeah.
But if we are completely honest, sometimes it can cost us.
Right.
I can remember, I didn't understand cheating because I've always been an honest person.
Right.
I
never had to cheat, like on tests and stuff like that in school.
When I was in 9th grade,
I always got good grades.
I remember taking a test,
yeah.
And there was another girl who kept trying to get me to help her remember stuff so that she could do the test. And so I tried to think of ways that I could help her without giving her the answer. Like hints, I guess.
Yeah.
But I always felt like cheating was looking over at somebody else's answers and writing down what they wrote. And that's not what I was doing. But after the test was over, the teacher called us both up there and said that she knew that we were cheating and that we were both going to get F's on the test. It didn't matter if It
didn't matter what you said or what
what I wrote down.
Oh.
And I was devastated because it's like I didn't cheat. I didn't lean over and I didn't realize that what I was doing was cheating.
Yeah.
And I swore that I would never do it again. And that girl had always been a friend to me, but after we got caught, I think she was embarrassed and she wouldn't even talk to me after that.
Yeah.
So I lost a friend.
Yeah.
Even though, because when the teacher explained to me that what I was doing was cheating, it was like, oh, okay.
All right.
I guess I did.
Okay, give me the F.
And I said, I'll never do it
Yes,
again.
yeah, I'm not going to make an excuse for it.
And I never did again.
Yeah.
Ever.
Uh-huh.
So I was a very naive person. Nobody taught me anything.
I can't say much. I'm not the most cunning person on the face of the earth, for sure.
Yeah. Joseph F. Smith
Yeah.
counseled, let every man's life be so that his character will bear the closest inspection, and that it may be seen as an open book, so that he will have nothing to shrink from or be ashamed of.
Okay.
And
I struggle.
that's how I've tried to live my life.
Well, you're a good person.
Try to live.
I still struggle. But I struggle with other things more, I think. I don't know if that's good or not. Anyway, so we're done.
It was a very short thing today.
Yeah, it was
but
short.
that's okay. It works well because it's Easter and we have,
That's right. We just finished up General
familial
Conference
things,
and
yeah.
things like that. And so,
we hope that you guys have had a wonderful Easter and have thought about Christ and his amazing sacrifice for us and
right.
and his resurrection and that you can contemplate on that in the coming week and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.